Well, the economic freedom fighters will commemorate the Human Rights Day by hosting an event at Sharpeville. EFF leader Julius Malema is expected to deliver the keynote address. For more on this, we now cross live to our reporter, Samkele Maseko. Samkele, a very good morning to you. Of course, we know that a number of political parties are commemorating this day, in fact, in Sharpeville, just to track that fateful day 65 years ago. Just speak to us about what we can expect today.
Well, Unati, we can expect that the leader of the economic emancipation movement, the July 26 movement, Julius Malema, will take to the podium at 12 o'clock midday to outline what this historic day, which they dub the Sharpeville Massacre Day, as opposed to Human Rights Day, looking at how South African political heritage and history should not be watered down. We'll speak on the current contemporary politics of the country. We'll speak on domestic issues, and we'll touch on international relations, particularly between the standoff of the United States of America and South Africa, with the anticipated arrival of Ambassador Ibrahim Rasool this weekend on Sunday in Cape Town. And he will touch on the issue of the budget that is currently being negotiated upon by political formations. But I am with Marshall Dlamini, the Secretary-General of the Economic Freedom Fighters. Mr. Dlamini, just the essence of today, what can South Africans look forward to that the leader of the EFF will speak to this particular community of Sharpeville on what this day represents for them and South Africa at large?
Look, we are here to commemorate and remember where we come from, and we are here to remind South Africans that what our forefathers fought and died for, it has not been achieved. You know that the PAC led by Sobukwe, they fought for land, they fought for freedom of movement when they were here in Sharpeville, when they were shot because they were refusing to carry dome passes, to carry passes to move freely in their country of birth. The racist white apartheid regime, it kills one of them. About close to 300 were injured. Children died here. Their blood flowed into this Dlomo Dam. And things stand now, 30 years later into democracy. The people of this area of Sharpeville, they are still a forgotten community. Their lives have not improved. Unemployment is rife, the disease is rife because there are no healthcare facilities. Crime is rife in this area. So we're here to remind our people that it's not yet Uhuru. What our forefathers fought for and stood for, the issues of land that Sobukwe passionately fought for, it has not been returned to our people. So the president and the commander-in-chief will come and outline that to give us that historical journey of where we come from as black people in this country, but to remind us that we are here, we still have to work hard and make sure that we fight for the true liberation of our own people. As we can see here, that the lives that they were living during apartheid and now it still look like it was something of yesterday. Nothing has changed. Our people, they still complaining of the basics issues: access to water, access to electricity, access to clean community. This area, you can see, it's filthy. Everyone wants to come to, even I'm sure even tourists, when they want to know where black people live in South Africa, someone must just say, go to Mfuleni. That's where you're going to see rubble, and then you're going to see damaged streets and sewer running on top of the streets and running into houses. As you can see, sewer that is running into this beautiful dam. That's supposed to be a tourist attraction. There's supposed to be some economic activity happening around this beautiful dam that is here, but nothing, because we're a leaderless society. But the president will come here and take us through that journey and on the issues that has to do with what is currently happening in the country.
Looking at the issues currently happening in the country, there's no budget that has yet been passed by the National Assembly. You are the chief whip of the EFF in the National Assembly. Last I had checked. How far are the negotiations with political parties? Are you sitting in those negotiations as the Secretary-General of the EFF on the passing of the budget and the reconfiguration of the government of national unity?
Look, we've got a chief whip now, a national chairperson, Commissar Nontando Nolchung. But the ANC, yes, they've communicated with us. They are whipping. Met with our whipper this week, I think Tuesday, where they wanted to discuss the issue of the budget. But you can see they are still negotiating in a dishonest way. The ANC, they are in the GNU, and they are current coalition with the DA. They are not speaking to their counterparts. And we're asking them a simple thing that, ANC, you asked for 2%, and the DA refused. And you have dropped it now to 0.5% a year. And the DA is still refusing. They are your partners. You have considered. They are not considered. They are not. They are not retreating from their own stance. Why are you so scared of white people? Because we're not going to negotiate with you or get into any discussion, and we must put it clear that the EFF will never support any VAT increase. That one, it's not the basis of anything. We won't support any VAT increase. But we're saying, why would you want to come to us when you've got partners in the GNU, you've got DA, you've got IFP, you've got all the group that is there. Go and speak to them and be bold enough, because you invited them. You always claim that it's an ANC-led GNU. You invited these people. Why are you scared of white people? Because they must tell them that we've considered ourselves from 2%, we're at 0.5%. Why are you not preparing to concede on anything as DA? But white arrogance and white supremacy, it won't agree. So we're not going to be used by the ANC because they can't confront their own partners. They're in the GNU, we're on the opposition. We don't support any VAT increase. But our doors are open for genuine negotiation, honest negotiation, not trying to trick us or blackmail us into some discussion because we are scared of telling the white people. But to put it simple, the EFF will get into genuine and serious negotiations with the ANC when the DA and the Freedom Front Plus is not there, is not in that GNU. Other than that, that stance remain. We'll never get into any discussion or anything. We don't support the VAT increase, but anything else, as we said, President said it even when we were closing our conference, that we are ready to participate in government as the EFF, but not with the racist. We are here today in Sharpeville to remember our fallen heroes, simply because of the beneficiaries of, simply because of apartheid government. And you want us to say today, let's go and sit and share the corridors of power with the beneficiaries of apartheid. Groenewald is a minister. Steenhuisen is a minister, beneficiaries of apartheid. What would we say to our people if we accepted to be part of that GNU? What would we be coming here to say to people of Sharpeville, to the families of those that were massacred in this, on this day in 1960? What would we be saying to them if we are saying, no, we're coming to remember them, to respect and to commemorate and say we're proud of their efforts as early as in 1960 when they fought for the liberation of this country. But at the same time, we're sitting with racists and beneficiaries and independent racists of Freedom Front Plus, AfriForum and Democratic Alliance. We are not, we'll never do that. We are very clear and we're very genuine of our own struggle that we're fighting and we're pursuing, that we're fighting that our people, they must get through liberation in this country.
What are genuine negotiations? Are you saying that you are willing to negotiate with the ANC? If you vote for this budget, you are not going to vote for a budget that will be presided over by John Steenhuisen?
We can never do that. We'll never do that. It doesn't matter what are the negotiations. Why would DA say we don't want this increase, and then you want EFF to support that increase, so that Steenhuisen the following day, the same day, he must go and preside over that of that government? It's madness. They are asking us. They are trying us. We'll never do that. If they want to negotiate genuinely with the EFF, let them finish with their partners and close that chapter and come to us and say, we have failed to work with our partners. Now we're talking of a new reorganizing of how we must lead this country. And then they know our position, that as long as DA and Freedom Front Plus is there. So we're not going to vote for a budget that Steenhuisen and anyone is going to preside on. But even voting on that budget, it won't be on the basis of VAT increase. So people of South Africa, they must not be confused that even the negotiations that we'll get into with the ANC, the first one is to say, let's look at other alternatives. We'll put them on the table, wealth tax and all other different initiatives that can save the poorest of the poor, the neglected and the exploited of this country, that we can't just go through increasing of VAT. So when we're having those negotiations, the VAT will still not support the increase of VAT. But West, we're not going to get into it and go and get into negotiations so that we can vote for a budget. West and they must go and speak to their partners. They said they are happy with their partners. Let them continue with them.
What are the modalities of these negotiations? Who are the individuals involved in these negotiations?
Look, for now, officially, it's, the WIPAR has met. The ANC has presented their case, and we have presented our case to them. I think we're still waiting for their officials to come to us, speak to it at that level. They've not said much. We're still waiting on them, but the WIPAR have officially met.
So there will be an officials meeting of the EFF and the ANC in the foreseeable future, in the next week or two?
Look, we said our doors are open, but it's the ANC who's leading the government, so we're not going to be calling them. They will have to call us. Remember, they are in government. It's their budget with their partners. So we don't have issues. If they don't call us, we'll go to Parliament, make our contribution as we always do as the EFF, and vote against it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marshall Dlamini. So which ministry will you be taking if you go into government?
I'm not going to any ministry, Samuel. Well, this is not about positions. About our people, it's about these cocos that are sitting here. It's about these youth that you see here today that are unemployed. Ours, it's always been about that. We never discuss any position or any name or anything. We always discuss a policy. What is going to be the benefit of our dejected masses in this country? Those that are unemployed, those that are landless, those that are homeless. Ours is for them. So that is the minister of that we're talking about, the cocos here. That's the ministry that will deal with it, and the youth that is unemployed, that is surrendered to drugs and alcohol. That is our interest.
As a person who's worked in the built environment space, I'm sure we are born to go to public works.
No. It's our people. These are the people that they must go and work into that space. It has never been positions about us. That's why there's no meeting on record with anyone, even local government or national government discussion, where we put positions and names. We don't do that. We discuss policy, what is going to be of the benefit of our people, because those are people that we represent, nothing else.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marshall Dlamini, the Secretary-General of the EFF, speaking on contemporary issues that the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, will touch on. Amongst those will be the issue of the unpassed budget as yet that is still being negotiated in the National Assembly, with the whippery of the EFF and the ANC having met this week. There is still yet to be a follow-up meeting of the officials of the EFF and the ANC, but Fikile Mbalula must extend that call to the EFF, according to Marshall Dlamini, the Secretary-General of the Economic Freedom Fighters.
Samkele, thank you so much for that. Samkele Maseko is a senior journalist here at the SABC, of course, in Sharpeville for us, speaking there to the EFF's Marshall Dlamini, as we continue, of course, to give you rolling coverage on this Human Rights Day.